Hi everyone, in this lesson we are going to learn this awesome Buddy Guy major blues lick in E. Stay tuned and I'll show you how to play it. In this lesson then, we're going to learn an awesome major blues lick by the amazing Buddy Guy. But if you haven't done it already, give the video a like, click subscribe to subscribe to the channel, and click that alert bell so you don't miss any updates. Also, if you'd like the tab and notation for this video, you'll see a link below in the description to a free PDF workbook that you can download. Okay, let's just get stuck in then. This is in the key of E and is a major blues lick which has a major sound to it, which is a bit more upbeat and happy than normal minor pentatonic licks. So this is based around the 5th and 7th fret and it sits nicely under this chord shape. Now that's known as our C shape major chord, but that is actually an E major because my root is there. So the pentatonic position then that is under that shape and around this area in the key of E major looks like this. So I'm going to go from the root. Okay, so some of you might be familiar with that shape already. A lot of people normally learn this when we're talking in minor pentatonic land. It's normally the second shape of a pentatonic we learn. But in major terms, you can either think of this as a C shape major pentatonic or it's position 3 of a major pentatonic. Now, if you're thinking in minor pentatonic, this would be the same as a C sharp minor pentatonic position 4. Okay, so it's the same as that. Now, if that's all new to you, don't worry, you'll still be able to play the lick. But that's kind of where this is coming from. We're going to be using all these major notes, which are sitting under that chord shape there, which is an E major chord. And like I said, it's using notes from the E major pentatonic, which sounds like this again. So once I've gone through the lick, I'm going to explain how we can move this to different keys and the tricks of how to do that sort of stuff. But let's just get stuck in and learn the lick first. So the lick starts off, we play the 6th fret on the G, 5th fret on the B, and the 7th fret on a B with a bend upper tone, which is bending up, and we want to achieve that note there in the 9th fret. And let me just count into it because it starts on an off beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this note, the 5th fret on the B, starts on the first beat of the second bar. So let me count along one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, first beat on that note, second beat of the bar is on the bend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have a bit of a rest. So moving on then, like I said, we have a bit of a rest on beats 3 and 4. We rest on beat 1 of the next bar, and then we play this. Okay, so we get rest on beat 1, then we do a bend up on the 7th fret on the B on beat 2. So 1, 2, then 5, 7 on the high E. And that's where the third beat lands. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we play another bend up on the 7th fret on the B. So okay, so nice and slow, and I'll count with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then we play the 5th fret on the B, 7th fret on the B, and that's where beat 4 is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6th on the G, 5th on the B. So nice and slow. So let me just do all of that bit one more time. So it's a bend up on the B, 5 on the high E, 7 on the high E, bend again, upper tone on the B string in the 7th fret, bring it down, play the 5th in the B, 7 on the B, 6 on the G string, and we finish the lick on the 5th fret on the B string. So let me just play the lick in its entirety and I'll count along with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really, really cool lick. I'm going to slow that down a little bit more. So here we go. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this time I'll play it without me counting over the top. So. Really nice lick, using those notes out of the major pentatonic, and definitely has a different kind of sound and vibe to it than playing a minor pentatonic lick. I also quite like the space in the middle of this lick. You know, we start off, we have a bit of a rest, which is really nice in blues licks. You know, often when people play and improvise and jam, there's this relentless barrage of notes. We're doing things like this, having gaps in between your licks, really breaks it up and draws the listener in. Okay, so let's get the metronome on. Here it is at 60 BPM. Let's speed that up a bit. Here it is at 70 BPM. A little bit faster, here it is at 80 BPM. Okay, one more time, a little bit faster, here it is at 90 BPM. Okay, so let's talk about moving that lick around and changing key. Now, there's a few things that I use often when changing licks and riffs and fills to different keys, okay? So the first thing is sort of something I touched on at the start of the video, which is using the chord shape. So as long as you're familiar with that chord, and you know the lick is sort of underneath that chord, okay, it sits right under that chord in the corresponding pentatonic shape. All you need to do is sort of see the picture of it, visualize the picture of it. So if you were to move that up to say G, I can see where all the notes are. By simply knowing that underneath that chord shape, I have a major pentatonic, and then the blues licks and that pentatonic and this Buddy Guy lick is sitting under that shape. Okay, so let's move to another key. If we were going to go to A, another common key for blues with guitar, we'd find an A chord, which is there. There's my root. There's my pentatonic. That's the A major pentatonic, and I know the lick is. Really, really great lick, and it's easy to move around when you piece it to the chord like that. The other thing which I always recommend you knowing is your root notes. So if I go back to E, I know that they're on my two roots. And the main one I'm focusing on when I'm playing this lick is the root on the B string, because you know that note features so much in this lick. And we finish on it. So as long as you know that that is your root note and you know your note up the B string, all you have to do is put your index finger on, let's go to a D. I'd find a D, and then the lick sort of falls around there. And I know my pentatonic position is there because it's under that shape, that C shape, but that's a D major chord. Okay, so the two things I'm always aware of when I'm moving this to different keys, number one is going to be the chord shape and the pentatonic that falls underneath it, and then the second thing is going to be knowing your root on the B, you know, and then you've got a root on the A string there as well. Okay, so that's quite a nice handy octave shape if you ever need to use it. Whatever you have on the A string, you have in the B string backwards 2 frets. So that's kind of an octave trick. So for example, if I wanted to find a G note on the B string and I didn't know where it was, but I knew my A string notes, I'd find a G on the A string, I'd be back 2 frets on the B string, and there it is. Okay, and that's the way I change keys with this lick. Now I use that often for soloing and other things as well, but I'll get into that in a bit more in another video. But that's how I change the key with that lick. So what I'm going to do then, just before I finish this video off, I'm going to put a backing track on so you can hear how it sounds along with the backing track. Okay, so that was the lick through the backing track. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you haven't done it already, click like to like the video, hit subscribe to the channel, and also click that alert bell so you don't miss any updates. As I said at the beginning of the video, if you want the tab and notation for that, there's a free PDF workbook. Check out the description below, you'll see a link to that. Also, come and check out my online guitar school, Fretlix, www.fretlix.com. I've got loads of lessons and courses over there. Hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you again soon.